Welcome back to the channel, everybody. You're watching A Ritter Bit Will Do, and today is the day you've been waiting for and I've been waiting for. I have a feeling this video is going to be pretty popular, so stick around and see what I'm talking about. Early this summer, I picked up a brush hog. I got a smoking hot deal on it, so I couldn't resist. And the only reason that I bought it was because I wanted to do a comparison video between the brush hog and my flail mower. All right, so let me tell you about the brush hog first. This brush hog is a King Cutter 4-foot brush hog. Okay, it's used, it's in really good shape. It just has a little bit of surface rust. This is the first time this brush hog has ever been hooked up to my tractor, and I don't know how it's going to react. I don't know what it's going to be like, so stick around with me and find out. Now, this flail mower, I can tell you that I love this thing. This flail mower is a 4-foot flail mower. It has hammer blades. If you don't know the difference between the different blades that flail mowers have, the two common ones are hammer blades and knives. Knives are more for like a manicured lawn. Hammer blades are for brush and just, you know, they really handle a lot of stuff. So this is what it is. It's one of these brands. All right, it's not the top of the line brand. I've got about 10, maybe 15 hours on it already, and I've got a lot of videos out there on the flail mower. It works great. I love it. I haven't had a problem with it. Hopefully I don't have a problem today. So it's holding up well. All right. Again, another look at the brush hog. Both blades on the brush hog and the flail mower have recently been sharpened, so that should not be an issue. So, all right, let's get this thing going. So my first impressions with this brush hog is that I am basically not that impressed yet. I'm not seeing the nice quality cut that I expected when I was going over light grass and light brush. I got a little bit of heavier brush back here, and we're going to give that a try, and maybe it will excel at heavier brush. But you'll see for yourself, because we're going to hook up the flail mower later, and you can see how it compares for your own eyes. But right now, I'm telling you, in my opinion, I think the flail mower is going to come out on top, but we'll see at the end of this video. Well, you've got to see how the brush hog cuts light grass, medium grass, and kind of a light brush or medium brush, and then some heavy brush. I probably would have cut some more heavy brush, except I don't have a slip clutch. And I would be a lot more comfortable if this PTO had a slip clutch on it. So, you know, I could put one on there, but you know, they're about 150 bucks or so. And I just don't want to invest in one. So I'm gonna be done right now with the brush hog, and we're gonna hook up the flail mower. One thing that I should point out, if you have a lot of different obstacles to go around, the brush hog sticks out so far, and you really got to be aware of your turns. Are you making too tight of a turn? Are you going to hit something? And you also have this tail wheel back here that doesn't always like to turn around. And I know that when my dad had a brush hog, he broke off a tail wheel, and that's kind of what led me to getting a flail mower. That and GP Outdoors, he kind of convinced me. That was all his fault that I had to get a flail mower. So anyways, we're going to hook up the flail mower. We're going to see how it compares to the brush hog, and you can see for yourself. So stick around. So we've taken a few passes with the flail mower, and if we get down right here to the ground, you can see that the flail mower really does a great job of mulching this stuff up really into just a kind of a fine mulch. Really, it just really eats it up good. It gets down to the ground, and it does a nice even job. If you look over, it's just kind of evenly cut. Yeah, it's missed a few here and a little bit over there, but if we go over here now to where the brush hog was, I don't know how well you're going to be able to notice this on the camera, but there's sprigs of grass that are up that the brush hog missed a lot. And let's just look at this part right here for a second. Now, the brush hog cuts this type of grass fine. Well, not fine, but good enough. But it doesn't cut it, it doesn't mulch it up like a flail mower does. It kind of leaves windrows in the middle of the brush hog. Now, here's something to think about when you're thinking between a flail mower and a brush hog. A brush hog has a cutting surface, you know, on the 4-foot brush hog anyway. It probably has 12 inches on one blade and 12 inches on another blade. Okay, so it's got about 24 inches of cutting surface as far as the blades go, and it's going around as fast as it can, you know, 540 RPMs on the tractor. Not exactly sure how fast it's going, but I had it going right where it's supposed to be. Now the flail mower has hammer blades, and those hammer blades, every single one of them is 4 inches long, and there's 20 of them. So 20 times 4, right? 80 inches, okay? Well over 24 inches that the brush hog has. So that cutting surface of those blades is coming around at a really fast, rapid rate, and it's doing a really great job of mulching everything up. So there's one difference that if you haven't thought of yet between a brush hog and a flail mower as far as cutting blade surface, cutting surface, it's really a big factor. The other thing I want to mention is that the flail mower cuts on a drum. It's going around and around on a drum, and all of those 20 different hammers are cutting it evenly. They're going around at the same speed. They're hitting from the left to the right. They're hitting the material on the ground at a consistent speed. A brush hog, however, has, you know, 2 blades, all right? And let's just say there's 12 inches of cutting surface on each blade. Well, in the middle of the brush hog, that's where you're getting the best cut, because it's cutting on the forward part of the brush hog, and it's cutting on the back part after it goes over the what do they call it, the stump jumper part of the brush hog. But on the left and the right, that's only hitting the material on the ground one time before it passes on, okay? So in the middle is where your best cut is going to be on a brush hog. So if you're cutting some kind of, big brush with a brush hog, you want to try to center that really well. On a flail mower, it doesn't matter so much because it's consistent all the way through. So just things to think about when you're trying to decide between a flail mower and a brush hog. All right, we're gonna go try some medium brush right now, and you can see how that compares. So that is how the flail mower handles medium density brush. And as you saw, I had to go over it multiple times. Some areas I had to go over multiple times. Some areas I took care of right away. You know, like right over here where it was kind of light and more of like on the heavy grass type of side. I just went over it once and it knocked it down real nice, mulched it up. But in this area, right here, I had to go over this multiple times. But I mean, it really mulches things up. I mean, this is all gonna just disintegrate and, you know, compost. But then again, there's some longer sticks. It might take a little bit longer, but regardless, that's done. That's not coming back. I went over it multiple times. Now over here, I only went over this stuff once. So let's take a closer look at what we have here. So this is kind of more towards the heavier side of brush, this stuff. You know, we got some 1 inch and, you know, 1.5 inch stuff, maybe some 2, almost 3 inch over there. But you run it over and it really just, you know, it takes a nice bite out of this stuff. And if I came back at it the other way, you know, using my loader to kind of raise it up and turn it the other side, then it really does a good job of cutting it down. Here, look over here, look at this stump that we have now. This is kind of, you know, this is kind of big. That's kind of substantial. Running over that with a flail mower, but it knocked it down. It took a big enough chunk out of it where that thing's gonna die. And if I wanted to go over it a couple more times, I could just really mulch it up and make this just a really nice result. I mean, look at how nice this looks already. This is just with the flail mower now. So flail mower is gonna leave you a nicer cut, a nicer result. You may have to go over, you know, some brush multiple times. But a brush hog, on the other hand, you can knock down those bigger trees with one pass, but you're not going to mulch them up real well. They're just going to kind of spit them out, and mostly, like I said, right in the middle of that brush hog, there's going to be kind of a windrow of material that you're going to have to deal with. Where a flail mower leaves kind of a nice, more, it spreads out material a lot more evenly. All right, let's go put the drone in the air. Here's an example of what I knocked down with the brush hog. Pretty substantial stump, you know, 3 inch probably, plus this over here. So pretty big. That's a lot for that little 4-foot brush hog for the BX tractor to do. I'm gonna go over that again with a flail mower, We're going to see if we can clean that up a little bit, so see what happens. As you saw there, the flail mower was able to really kind of mulch this up and get it even further down to the ground. Just kind of turn it into, you know, small little chunks. So did a nice job of just mulching it right up. There you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this direct comparison between the brush hog and the flail mower. Let's review our advantages and disadvantages. The brush hog sticks out quite a ways behind the tractor. It's got that tail wheel. It's hard to turn. Also, the tractor is carrying the weight of the brush hog versus the flail mower. The flail mower rides on the ground on big rollers, and you're really just pulling it, and it rides and just kind of hugs the surface of the ground. All right, advantages to the brush hog: it knocks down big material quicker, but it doesn't really mulch it up very well. The flail mower will knock down the same size material, but it doesn't mulch it up right away. You might have to make multiple passes to do that, but you can accomplish it. The brush hog in tall, medium, maybe some heavy grass, not very well. It tends to miss a lot of stuff, especially on the right and the left-hand side of it. Down the middle, where the blade hits it twice, it hits it on the front and it hits it on the back. It hits that material twice versus only one time on the left or right. Then it does a little bit better, but it does leave some windrows. So I don't know. It really depends on what kind of result you're looking for. If you're looking for a nice mulched up result, the flail mower is definitely the way to go. If you want to be able to turn in tight areas, the flail mower is definitely the way to go. So if you got a lot of trees, a lot of obstacles that you want to go around, I definitely get a flail mower. If you've got a big pasture that's kind of overgrown and it's got some heavy shrubs on it that you need to knock down, and you really don't care what the result is, you just want to knock them down, go with a brush hog. It just depends, right? Okay, so whatever your application is, whatever kind of result you want, depends on which one you should get. If I had to choose for my applications, just kind of maintaining this land and knocking stuff down, I'd go with the flail mower all day long. It's so much more maneuverable, and it works better behind a smaller tractor. I think the flail mower works better behind a smaller tractor versus the brush hog. That's just my opinion. I feel like I'm more comfortable on the tractor. It's not jostling me around so much as the brush hog did. Once in a while, running the brush hog, I'd come to a spot that I couldn't get over and I'd have to back up. With the flail mower, the flail mower just kind of rides on the surface of the ground and you're just basically pulling it. The brush hog, you actually have to lift it. The tractor carries the weight of the brush hog. You know, it can skid on the ground and that's fine, but if you have like undulations and uneven ground, that brush hog is going to get hung up on there, and it's not going to be a comfortable ride for you, and it's not going to be that great because you're going to be backing up and having to readjust. Whereas the flail mower, I think it does a better job. So there you go. Hope you liked the video. Hey, do me a big favor. Like this video. Give me the thumbs up. I really, really need those thumbs up. YouTube pushes it out to a larger audience. More people see it. And then the channel does better. Helps the channel grow. So I would appreciate it if you do that. If you want to check out our Facebook group, we have a Facebook group called A Ritter Bit Will Do. There you can message me, ask questions. I'm pretty good about getting back to you guys. Other than that, I think that's about it. So as always, until next time, keep on tractoring and God bless.